Well, good day, ladies and gentlemen. How the hell are you all doing today? Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Johnny Nocash. You're listening to a brand new episode of Life with Johnny Nocash. And if this is your first time listening, this is all about living in the fucking van, on the side of the street, on the side of the road, in a fucking mountain. It's basically just some of my travels, some of the things I've learned. And in today's episode, that's exactly what I want to talk about, is now that we are getting into my second winter, there's a few things that I got to prepare for, as well as, you know, with the prices of food these days, it's astronomically embarrassing that we fucking paying this shit. But you know, I've had to kind of switch up my diet a little bit, but I've got some cool tips for whether you're living in a van or if you're at home and want to save a buck, you know, some good food ideas. I eat this one meal that I'm going to tell you about today about 5 fucking times a week, and it's incredible. So I'm going to talk about that, as well as I have a little bone to pick, as I always fucking do. So, without further ado, once again, thank you all so much for tuning in, being a subscriber, and liking this video and rating it. And I also got to say thank you to Crazy Monkey Vodka and SEEROCKLIVE in Toronto. You guys have been extreme supporters of mine, and I really fucking, from the bottom of my heart, really appreciate it. So, thank you very much. So, without further ado, let's get into some fucking van life shit. Here we go. I'm living in a van playing outlaw tunes. Live with Johnny Nocash. Smoking them smokes and drinking that booze. Live with Johnny Nocash. Where I go, how the fuck I'll know. I'm off the grid on dusty roads. There ain't no better way of eating beans. So currently, I am actually parked on a side street by a park in a very rich neighborhood. I don't know why I chose this. I think the main reason was I am losing battery very fast. And because it's getting cold, I've been using my furnace. And I've been just eating away at my battery. So this is one of the only spots I was able to find that was nearby anyway, where it was kind of not in front of houses, but on the opposite side of the street with some sunlight. So I'm actually soaking up the sun right now, trying to get what little power I can. Everything that I'm running right now is off of my batteries. So it has been, you know, throughout the summer, I didn't really give a shit. You know, I didn't really give a shit about, you know, battery power or anything like that, because I was just soaking it up basically every fucking day. But now that we're getting into this new weather with, you know, downpours going to be happening any day now, I've been having to use as much solar power as humanly possible. And now that it's getting darker, I'm noticing that I'm also in the van a lot more than I was in the summer. So I'm just eating that shit up. It's getting down to nickel and diamond, folks. And, you know, this is one thing that's been bugging me for a long time. And I'm going to get into it later, which is about the food thing. But I do have some good advice for that. Some things that I've been eating pretty much since the very beginning, but I've perfected it now, and I'm going to share it with you today. But before I do, I got to talk about, this is the fucking bone that I need to pick. And this actually involves all you guys. I need to hear your opinion on this, because when I think of it, I get pissed off. So here we go. So I was in Toronto for a week. And it was a great time. I got to see my mom. I got to see some friends, play a show. It was fucking incredible. But the reason why I wanted to bring this up is I was in Toronto and I went to a pub with a buddy of mine. It was late at night. We had already done a bunch of pre-drinking. We've been drinking all fucking day. But the point was just to kind of get out and, you know, meet some locals and shoot the shit. So we get to this pub. And I got nothing against the pub. It's a pretty fucking cool pub, actually. There was a band playing and they were really good. And there's a lot of cool people there. Like everyone's just like sharing booze with each other. It was like kind of old time pub atmosphere. Everyone's dancing, fucking getting shit faced. And the demographic was right up my alleyway. It wasn't like 19-year-olds. It was all old bastards and old women just like me. So it was really comfortable. I really enjoyed that. But, you know, come the end of the fucking night, I spent some money. You know, I got maybe 2-3 shots, maybe 3-4 beers, you know, and I knew it. You know, prices of booze, everything's going up. I knew that this was a big night out for me, you know, the $60 or something like that. So I got it. I figured it out. The bill comes. And there's a fucking band tax. What the fuck is a goddamn band tax? I got $10 tacked onto my fucking bill because that's what the band is paid. There's no signs telling me this shit. No fucking bartender throughout the 3 hours I was there let me know that there was a band tax. Hey, listen, I have no problem paying a band. None at all. As you know, fucking musician. I get it. We're all fucking starving artists. We want some fucking money, please. But you can't just slip in a fucking band tax. No. And $10? Listen, I got something to tell all you fucking band or bar managers out there. I'm going to tell you right now. Do the hat thing. The hat thing, pass around a fucking hat 2-3 times in a night while the band's playing. Guaranteed. A, they're going to make more money than they do by this fucking band tax that you're just sneaking in on people, which I'm still not done. But have a fucking pass around a hat. People, if they hear their tune, they're gonna fucking donate more cash. All right? And that way it's up to the customer of how much they want to pay. Are you even there to listen to the fucking band? What if you just came in for some wings and a fucking glass of water? You didn't even want a beer and fuck off. Now you get a band tax on top of your fucking wings? Give me a break. Oh, so I pulled the bartender aside and I was like, what the fuck is this? Well, it's the band. That's how they get paid. And I'm like, wouldn't it be nice to know that you're fucking charging all these people an extra 10 fucking sly ass dollars too? Like no fucking sign. No, I couldn't believe it. And I said, listen, you need to change this. This is absolutely ridiculous. I had a great time. Band fucking kicked ass. I had no problem giving these fucking guys money. Maybe even more. Maybe. Probably not. But I'm just saying, like the fucking people that are coming into your bar, like, do you think I'm going to go back there? I'm going to be terrified that if I like make my way to that bar again, that I'm going to be peering through the window. Like, is there a fucking band or a fucking DJ? Like, Christ. Unreal. I was pissed. And again, like, cause now you're tipping the bartender too. You got it. Like, I could go on for a while. I'll try and wrap this up, but I'm telling you, like, so say you get a $60 fucking bill and you tip $15-20, right? Which is a lot. Like, that's a good fucking tip. If you get good service, man, I'm all about the tip. I really am. I get it. However, cause that's my choice, I get to choose if it's 10% or 20. So you fucking get a $60 bill, you give them $15, now you're at 75, and you're like, sweet, now I got to get a cab out of here, which is going to be whatever money. Like, you know how this all adds up? I'm not coming back to your bar if there's going to be like ghost fees just fucking popping out of nowhere. Fucking bathroom fee at the end of the night? Yeah, you took 40 pisses. That's going to be $40. Are you kidding? There's no sign. Anyway. Anyway, I'm telling you, this pissed me off and it's got to stop. So all you bar managers out there, man, get your shit together. Stop fucking doing this to your customers. We're broke. Everyone's fucking broke these days. All right? Fuck. Speaking of broke, this food shit. Y'all notice this? Y'all notice that, it's a couple bucks here, a couple cents there. This is bullshit. I mean, it's hard. Like gas, I don't know where you're listening to this from, but here in British Columbia or in Vancouver nonetheless, it's right now, it's $1.09. Or sorry, $2.09 for a fucking liter. When I was in Toronto, it was $1.65. And even that, it's still high, man. Like a year and a half ago, it was nothing like that. So $2.09, right? To drive this hog around. And then you got to eat, and then you got to, like, now I've been smoking a bit more weed, so I got to fucking buy it. It's another goddamn thing. I'm back on the darts. Like, fuck. It's stressful. And that's the thing. You get stressed out with this shit, and then you start picking up old habits, and it sucks. So yeah, food's getting fucking difficult. So I just wanted to share with you guys, first of all, a main meal that I eat probably about 5 nights a week. And it's cheap, it's good for you, and it's not beans or chili. But I did also want to talk about some of the things that I buy. Pretty much like my grocery list, it very rarely changes. It's always the same shit. Now, again, I'm not a foodie, so this shit doesn't bother me at all. Like, I don't need to switch it up a lot. I'm fucking blessed that I'm not a foodie because that would be expensive. And so I eat pretty much the same thing all the fucking time. First of all, I always go with instant coffee. All right? And I'm not talking the no-name shit. I do go for the Nescafe. Actually, today, look at what I got. I fucking treated myself. This is not an ad, by the way. Nescafe Gold. It was like fucking $6 or something. And like, again, you go to fucking Tim Hortons, that's $2. A coffee. This is going to last me a month. And it's the good shit, in my opinion. It is tasty. I already had one. Also, another thing that it's always a go-to is fruit. I fucking love fruit. And you should too. I fucking love fruit. My fucking beef, though, with fruit, especially oranges, is you pay for the fucking pound, right? And half the goddamn thing is a fucking peel. Ah, fuck. But I do always get oranges. I always get apples. Sometimes bananas. I don't know. I'm not much of a banana guy, but they are dirt cheap. So if you are on a budget and you're doing this van life shit, definitely get some fucking bananas. They ain't my thing, but they're cheap as all hell. Another thing I always get to is potatoes, mushrooms, and don't put your mushrooms in a paper bag. Get one of those, the vegetable bags. Paper bag, man, it weighs more. They're trying to nickel and dime you. Just get that basically like invisible bag that they have on the rolls and throw your mushrooms in there. Like, I know what they're doing with the fucking paper bags. I always get asparagus and or Brussels sprouts. I love my fucking Brussels sprouts. I fucking love them. Used to hate them as a kid. Love them now. Just get some, I wish it was butter or whatever it's called. The cheapest shit they got. Margarine. Smear that shit on there. Some salt. Boom. That's half your fucking meal right there. Also, I always get one onion, and pork chops. Why pork chops? They're the cheapest fucking meat there is out there. It's ridiculous that, chicken is fucking like, and you gotta buy it in bulk. And I can't do that with my little fridge. You gotta buy it in bulk. Being a single person, with very little resources is really difficult. Because everything's in bulk and it's like I could get the little thing of Oreos for like $4 or I could get the huge fucking thing for $4.95. And it's like, I don't really have the space. I'd love that many Oreos for $1 more, but fucking assholes. So coming down to my meal. This is my main meal. I eat it all the time. I always I'm going to have it for dinner tonight for fucking sure. And I can't wait. But it's always asparagus. I know it's expensive, but fuck, it's good for you. And it's, it'll last you about 4 days. Especially like I love the shit, like big fucking clumps of the damn things. I understand that they are a more expensive vegetable, but again, sometimes you just gotta fucking, eat it. You could get a shittier vegetable and better meat. There's you could compromise that way. But for me, I like a fucking asparagus, and I like my potatoes, and I like my sauteed mushrooms and onions. I'm telling you, and then a fucking pork chop right there. You can get enough for 4 or 5 days for about $12. $12. 4 or 5 really healthy, good dinners. And I eat this shit all the fucking time. And because it's getting colder now, I'm not using nearly as much energy with my fridge. I don't even really have it on most of the time. Like, it's cold enough out in the front that I can keep my shit for a while. But if you're not a foodie and you're down with eating the same thing almost every fucking day, this is a great meal and it's cheap enough. Like I said, $12 for about 4 days. And that's what I'm going to eat for the next 4 fucking days. As far as like lunches and stuff like that, I always have a Nocash charcuterie, which is just any kind of cracker, preferably like the cheapest ones. As long as they got salt on them, they're good. Like, come on, you know, you can have a preference, but don't be too fucking picky. Then you get the cheapest cheese, because cheese is cheese. I mean, sure, there's good cheese out there, but even the shittiest cheese is still pretty fucking good. Get the old shit, because the taste will linger more, so you don't have to eat as much, and it feels like you're still consuming it. And, of course, lunch meat. That's all you need is ham or turkey or something like that. They come in these little fucking packages that are, again, they went up $1. They used to be $5. Now it's up to $6. Same amount. But anyway, I got one of those. $6. But again, this is lunch every day for probably, I'd say maybe 3 days. So I'm telling you guys, there are ways of doing it. Now, of course, I'm a little bit more fortunate with my cooking setup. Like with Old Dusty, it was much more difficult. It was much more difficult, especially once I had that fucking disastrous wood stove in there. It was a difficult time in there. But then again, most of the time I had Old Dusty, I was also outside, so I could cook outside. As far as the beans, you're probably all wondering, what the fuck, man? He didn't mention the damn beans. I'll tell you right now. Beans and chili is best outside, and I'll tell you why. Especially outside by a body of water. First of all, when you're cooking that shit, if it's not on the can itself, like you can throw a can directly in the fire and eat it out of the can, boom, no mess. But when you're cooking it in a pot, I'll tell you, man, that fucking, like the syrup gets stuck to the sides, and you're using a lot of fucking water just cleaning that pot. I'll tell you, I have chili and beans on like a special occasion these days inside the van. When I'm outside, man, it is my go-to meal. It's just a fucking can of chili and boom, some bread, butter. You got dinner. It's good for like $3. So, but I'm telling you, in a van, I'd stay away from it unless you have a crazy water source. Like I preserve mine. Like I really have to make sure that I'm overusing water. I always have to check my gray water tank. If it ever overflowed, that would be disastrous to this van. So yeah, water is very important. I'm always keeping an eye on it. So that's my advice for beans and chili inside a van. Definitely outside, 100% best meal. I don't care if you got a grill and some fucking meat. I'm telling you, beans on an open fire can't be fucking beat. But that being said, I just wanted to, let you guys know what the hell's been going on as far as eating wise now that it's getting colder and I've got to start preserving my meals, my energy. And I'm also inside my van so much more now. So I'm using that energy and my battery and my water that much more. So I wanted to give you guys a little update on that. I also wanted to fucking, pick that bone with that bar, which makes me think, like, is this something new? Am I losing my mind? Or is this something that is common? Let me know. Let me know if this is something that actually happens at bars that you've been to, because I'm very curious. And if it is, let's start a fucking petition. This has got to stop. So that being said, thank you all so much for making it this far in the podcast. I really appreciate it. If you want to support me, you can always go over to buymeacoffee.com/JohnnyNoCash, and you can buy me a coffee, even though, drinking a beer. You can buy me a coffee, or you can always go over to johnnynocash.bandcamp.com and get yourself some merch, maybe some new music. I just came out with Dagger Road, The Lost Songs Part 2, so you can go on over there, and there's a huge merch sale going on with the package, so definitely check that out. And until next time, thank you all so much for your listening ears. I hope you all stay dusty, and I hope you pick up some Crazy Monkey vodka, and let me know what you think. Cheers, y'all. A stagger fucking crop. I'm out. I'm living in a van playing outlaw tunes. Live with Johnny No Cash. Smoking them smokes and drinking that booze. Live with Johnny No Cash. Where I go, how the fuck don't know. I'm off the grid on dusty roads. There ain't no better way of eating beans.